My name is Ken Draper. I didn't grow up in a church family, nor did I grow up in a church environment. My family didn't believe in God, nor did they attend a church. So at 5 years old, my mother decided that it was a good idea for me to go to Sunday school, so she dressed me up every Sunday and taught me off to church down the road. I ended up going to church every Sunday that I could if we wasn't doing family events, up until I was about 8 years old, and grew up in the 70s. So drugs were introduced into my life at one point, and I chose, unfortunately, that path to use drugs. And drugs, kind of the party lifestyle, the misbehaving, trouble with the law, trouble with my family. During that time of partying and carrying on, I met a woman that we ended up getting married, and that woman ended up getting pregnant for our first daughter. Well, when that baby was born, shortly after being born, the baby passed away. And I took it the wrong way. I blamed God. I turned back to drugs after that, and my life spiraled out of control. It ended up causing me to get a divorce from my first wife. Eventually, after that, I met my wife, Peggy. And Peggy, she loved me unconditionally. She was there for me. I actually started a heating cooling business up. I had the business for just shy of 5 years. I had 8 employees, a bunch of trucks on the road, had a very profitable business. But once the money started rolling in, the drug usage got heavily increased on my part. It got to the point where it cost me the heating and cooling business that I had, and almost cost me my marriage. I got clean, I went to a rehab, cleaned myself up, started to go into a Narcotics Anonymous group, actually sponsored some young men, helped them clean their lives up, which meant a lot to me, but still no God in my life. Moving to Texas, I moved down here with my wife for her job. Next door to me, this gentleman and his wife moved in. And every night I came home from work, this gentleman would come out and talk to me, ask me how my day was going. We had some pretty deep conversations about religion and life. And about 4 or 5 weeks into this young man said, "You know, I'm a pastor of a church, right?" And I had to do a quick thought process of what I had actually told him, the language I used. Was it appropriate? Was it not? Because I'm talking to a pastor of a church. So Doyle invited me to come to North Tarrant Church. So the following weekend I attended the church on Sunday, and I liked it. It was nice. And I went back the following Sunday, convinced my wife she needed to come check it out. So Peggy came and checked it out. And before you know it, my whole family's involved. My wife is in it. I ended up going through some processes with Doyle and Cheryl, his wife, and we worked through some issues that I didn't even realize were causing me to use the drugs and misbehave the way I was misbehaving. To me, to find all this stuff out and the root cause of what I'd been going through all my life. Through the power of God and the grace of God, my heart's in a good place. And I owe that to Jesus. I found myself right here at this workbench praying to God that I wanted to dedicate my life to Jesus, and I needed Him to take over. I'd like to thank my wife, Peggy. She's been a rock star through all of this, sticking with me and loving me. I'd like to thank my children. I'd like to thank my grandchildren. And I'd like to thank Doyle and Cheryl. Specifically, I'd like to thank North Tarrant Church. I'd like to tell everybody that I have given my life over to Jesus to become a follower of Jesus.